The governor said he wants to align with the center, so he joined the APC. Did it stop insecurity? So what was done? Nothing.
You know who's watching all of these developments coming out of Jos very closely? The United States, with Congressman Riley Moore warning in a new interview that the U.S. could step in again to address Nigeria's insecurity crisis if officials here don't move fast enough to stop the killings. Now, Moore made these comments speaking to Newsmax in an interview released on Wednesday. Let's watch.
As President Trump has been very clear on this, if they don't address this, we're going to address it for them. Now, we'd like to do that in cooperation and coordination, but if they don't do that, if they don't step up to the plate here, we're going to start to take the lead on this. But look, Nigerian government has been trying to make some steps toward this, but they're not doing it fast enough. Things aren't happening quick enough. And these things keep happening. So something's got to give here. As President Trump has been very clear on this, if they don't address this, we're going to address it for them. Now, we'd like to do that in cooperation and coordination, but if they don't do that, if they don't...
Now, it's a welcome development that the president has taken the step to travel to Jos because it's impossible to get a clear sense of what's going on if you're not there on the ground. But the question a lot of Nigerians online want to know is what comes next? Beyond the symbolism, beyond the statements, will we be any safer after this trip? Will the president take any significant steps to change the course of our fate? Because if he doesn't, clearly the U.S. is watching.
Okay, two sides. Okay, let me start with the U.S. is watching. Rep. Riley Moore can talk tough, but the truth is that the U.S. has a lot on its plate currently, and that might bring a distraction and also a reluctance for Congress to support further action, by the United States in Nigeria. Recall that there's a bill before Congress currently to debate this and see how much intervention. Now, because of what's going on in the Middle East and the current dissatisfaction of the Nigerian people and President Trump's rating falling as a result of troops on ground, it might not make them very, want to come here. Even though in recent times, the number of Nigerians have been calling and asking, the US, don't forget us here. You said you were going to come and help us. So since the government seems to not be able to handle insecurity or tackle insecurity in Nigeria, come and help us. But at this time, the US has a lot, bigger things on its plate, so might not be able to commit that fund, resource, time to Nigeria currently. You would notice that President Trump has not made any reference in recent times to what's going on in Jos. In the past, in the wake of what he said, with that tweet around Christian genocide, he would have definitely responded or remarked on the killings on Palm Sunday, but he's very busy. Now, coming home to Nigeria, that's why we keep saying that no matter how there's international attention on internal issues, you are the one to solve your own problems yourself. There's no country that would put another country first before its own interest or before itself. And that's why, whilst we welcome collaboration with the United States, there must be more pressure on our own government to do what is right, because we have the capacity to tackle insecurity. And we've said it over and over again. Number one, of course, we've often said is political will. Number two is that we have the manpower. Absolutely. Yes, collaboration in terms of intelligence gathering is good. That happened, and there's, currently said to be a collaboration with the United States. So what's happening with that in terms of intelligence sharing? But the president going to Jos, I said earlier on, good optics, good move. He speaks well in terms of position as a leader and empathy with the people. But you ask the critical question that the more important thing for Nigerians is what would happen after his visit. What change would it bring to Jos, Plateau State, and the other states that are experiencing insecurity, like Kaduna State, like Zamfara State? Over the last few days, we've also experienced terrorist attacks. How many visits is he going to make? What Nigerians want is action. What we want is that the people who are funding, the people who are behind this are brought to book. That's what would really speak to the Nigerian people. So it's good, but we want more. I guess that is the general consensus.
Absolutely. And Rufai, I'll come to you on this next story to essentially tie it all in. And let's stay in Jos, but now let's shift our focus slightly from officials to the people, with a new video sending shockwaves across social media as it shows an unidentified young man appearing to get hacked to death by a mob in the middle of the street in broad daylight. Now, reports claim that this young man was walking near the University of Jos when he was suddenly attacked by a mob of hoodlums. Keep in mind, this video emerged just hours after the state government relaxed the 48-hour curfew they put in place to keep people safe. So let's just play a short portion of that clip. Let's take a look.
What did he do? What did he do?
So the video goes on and you essentially see the man's lifeless body lying in the middle of the street, but we cut it shortly so that you didn't have to see that. We've yet to see an official comment from the Nigeria police force on this particular video, but we know that the Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, has ramped up operations by sending in more tactical teams to the state. But there's this feeling of helplessness seeing a man get attacked like that in the middle of the day that's so jarring, Rufai. And I wonder if you can just tie all of these jaw stories together with what we just saw in that video.
At first, I mean, I don't know what to say, because as I close my eyes now, the picture of that woman that was clutching onto her dead son cannot leave my memory. And since that happened, there's been skirmishes. I'm sure this is also part of the skirmishes that happened afterwards. But where is the state? Where's the authority? Where are those that we relinquished our sovereignty to in Section 14, Subsection 2B, to be able to protect us? Where are they? Another man being bitten, lifeless body on the ground. How many hours after this video? What's the investigation? What's the report? What has transpired? You see, these are the vestiges of a failing state. But politicians are more concerned about keeping themselves in power. They're thinking about the next election. When are we going to have leaders in Nigeria that thinks about the next generation? The president wants to go to Jos. Yes. After how many days? Yeah, was more concerned about his APC convention and staying back. And I'm sure probably some people will argue and say better late than never. But after the president visit, what happens? Is it today? This has been happening in Jos. Didn't we talk about mango here? Didn't we talk about Bacchus here? Is it today we've been talking about it? What was done? The governor said he wants to align with the center, so he joined the APC. Did it stop insecurity? So what was done? Nothing. Have we gotten forensic experts to even look at? I keep talking about forensic experts because I cannot just imagine in the life of me. Every crime scene, basic law and criminology, every crime scene leaves a trail. The very basic free trail is your forensics. So are we saying we don't even have forensic experts there? I don't have the facts. They can tell us. Nigeria is just wandering. It's just wandering. And increasingly you're seeing a lot of people occupying a space, but there is no direction. Leaders are just so concerned about what is the need for them. Look at what's happening with the political structure. Opposition totally stifled. 31 governors, you will have thought oppositions will get a breathing space, but no. And we do not see any results. Since then, Ayo, please correct me if I'm wrong. Have we had more arrests?
No.
Just only that one?
Just reasons,
Just excuses? So that means for the past 72 hours thereabouts, these people have gone scot-free. So they say investigation, there's a window of opportunity. And hope is not going to be the case that the president will go there now to Jos and say, we must bring the perpetrators to book. IG, bring them to book. And the next thing we see arrest all of a sudden. Because that was what happened in Yawata. We didn't see arrest all this while. But all of a sudden, when the president went to Benue and said, what are we doing, IG? Then a couple of people were arrested. And God only knows what happened.
Right.